This is Inside Hart County Football with head coach Rance Gillespie and your host, Doc Ayers. Recorded in Studio 604B at the new Hart College and Career Academy. Here's your host, Doc Ayers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Inside Hart County Football for November the 8th. Get home by Coach Gillespie. First off, Coach, where's the season gone?
It's flown by. There's no question. That's pretty typical when you stay busy and got a lot going on. Things seem to happen a little bit faster.
Now, I'm going to backtrack to last week. We were talking after the show about what could happen if things started clicking. Well, we were about 24 hours too early. I think it clicked pretty good last Friday night. 70 points.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. We talked all week, and I hope everyone will understand where I'm coming from with this. But we felt like we had a better football team than East Jackson going into the game, and I want our kids to understand that. But that does not change the way that we play. Neither should it change the way that we play if we're playing a team that's better than us. We want to be at our best, play after play, and focus on each individual play like it has a history and a life of its own. And I think our kids did that. I thought there were some plays that we had left on the field. The two previous weeks, and we just seemed to be able to make those plays on Friday. And are we a better football team? Yes, we are a better football team. But even with that being said, I thought that our kids went out and played good football and that we executed the way that we should have.
Took care of business.
Correct.
It got off to a flying start. I know you're talking about plays being left on the field. I think it was the second series. You get the two negative plays, and it's third and a good punt, and you throw an 80-yard touchdown pass.
Right. It was, with the exception of that offensive series, I thought outside of that we did a lot of things right.
Well, let's look at some highlights from last week. Kick off to start the ball game.
I thought Tucker kicked the ball well, and I thought our coverage was really good. This kid right here, number 2, was a good football player for him. Played some outside linebacker and big, strong kid. Good job fitting the buck sweep. And again, we talked about it last week, but you watch our kids fit. Our pad level's still something that we still need to work on. But you watch our kids fit with their hat in their hands. And fit their gap responsibilities. Good play there out of Clavon, getting penetration, coming off the edge. Had a little stunt call to bring him to the inside, and did a good job making a play there.
Get the ball first series.
Run the option, and takes us a couple of reps to get the option where we want it. But you'll see later we get it figured out and get it executed the way we want it to.
Great patience there. Kraft on the reception.
Yeah, good job out of Tevin. Tevin had 2 or 3 receptions for another solid night. And this package has been really good for us to put O'Neal at running back and let Luke get in there. And it's a change of gears that's helped our football team overall. With some of the throws that we've done out of it, and of course the run game. So, little zone read here, and get O'Neal out the back door, get him down to about the 13, 14-yard line. Come back, run a little counter play, and get it inside the 10. And we mixed some of our calls up, power. And we didn't fit that the way we wanted to, but we came back later and did a good job adjusting on the sideline.
Fitted that one well.
On the belly there, and good job powering it in the end zone for I think his second touchdown of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Again, good kick coverage.
L.J. Rucker played really well for us on that team. Made several plays. He was our special teams player of the week this week.
Good job beating the block there. East Jackson played a lot of young people. I believe 12, the quarterback was a freshman, so that their future's pretty bright too.
Come back out and get try to get O'Neill started on the outside zone, and 2 makes a play off the edge there for them. And this is a series that we were talking about where we have 2 negative plays, and then we find Deacle in one-on-one, and he's able to run by their kid and make a catch on the ball, and then just finish it off the rest of the way. I think Deacle had 3 receptions for roughly 170 yards. Had a big night for us, and was our offensive player of the week this week, selected by the coaches. But had a really good night.
Good job there.
You know, I thought our kids played physical and did some things well, and played with some confidence. Mm-hmm. Good job on the naked, and almost get that thing in there, and come back on the next play and give it to Durante. Get the power and the piece that we were missing on the fit. We got it corrected on the sideline. Did a good job with that for the rest of the night. We fit it really nice a little bit later on in the game as PJ fits it up really good.
Again, defense really just dominated them at the line of scrimmage up front.
Did, and you know, the 2 tackles for them are good players. You watch 75, and is a good sized kid, and 71 there, or 51 are the two big kids up front. And 50 was a solid player for them as well. But you know, 12 is, like you said, is just a freshman. They are playing some young kids in places, so I'm sure they're looking for great things. I thought that was a good play out of Malachi. And that's what you want out of a guy back there, a guy that is willing to lay it on the line and go make a play. Yeah. And I think he's done that since he's been back there. And you know, just a freshman. And you know, there will come a night where he may make a mistake back there, but he's done a really
beautiful
nice
job there here on the screen.
Does, and picks up a big first down for us here, and come back with the option, get the give read. Got to fit the backside of it a little bit better. And you know, Luke has done a good job executing a lot of our quick game. You know, so many times you want to just take your first progression, especially when it's quick game and you got to process things really fast. But he has not done that. You know, he set to throw the ball outside. They jumped outside. He comes back in and gives the ball to Kirby for a nice game. Good. This is a good play out of our kids right here. And you know, it's a shame that adults don't know formations. And, I'll just leave it at that. But
well, it goes back to the perseverance this team is young. Come back to the next play,
and we have to. You know, overcome it and give a good ball there to Deacle. Power read and
do a good job.
Do a good job fitting it up on the perimeter. Get some heat off the edge with Simeon there. Good physical fit out of him, and you know, so many times in the pass game, it's not about getting the sack. It's about moving the guy off his point. It's about, you know, making the play happen a little bit out of rhythm. And you know, I think we did that.
Thought Simeon had a really good ball game.
He did. He played well. And Jalen Brown was our defensive player of the week. He had a ton of production for us. You know, had the interception, had returned for a touchdown, and just did some really good things. That was a good play out of him there.
Blow that one up.
Fitting the bubble screen, and good physical fit out of him. And
get to knock away here.
And here, this is where we you know, we get the option, get it out, get it pitched, and execute all three phases of it, and get about a 14-yard gain there. So you know, we've got to do a better job with our decision there, reading the end, and you know, we're not gonna read every one of them correctly. Come back, give it to him on the perimeter, and you know, a different read by Luke, and does a good job reading his way through it. And this is another read play out of him, and with a couple of different options involved, and makes the right decision. So.
You know, you keep hearing people use the phrase, Coach, about the game slowing down. I think it is for Luke.
It is, and it's starting to for several of our kids. You know, try to get Kane on the over route, and you know, Kane's going to be a really good player for us. He's kind of struggled through some injuries this year, but looking forward to great things out of him as we move forward.
Malachi on the touchdown run, and again, the black shirts around the return man.
Did a good job on the kickoff, and something that we wanted to emphasize and really improve on. Because you know, we struggled with that against Monroe, and we don't want to be reduced to a team that has to squib the football. We want to be able to kick the ball deep. That was a really nice
job there
out of Tevin. One that you know, it's not going to go down as an interception or, you know, even a tackle, but just a really good defensive play out of him, the way he got his body in position and fit the receiver up. This is a well-executed play.
Yeah,
and
get the leverage, and we're going to the house.
Get a good kick block out of our guard. Clavon comes in and fits the backer just like he's supposed to. And the tight end of the tackle gives a good down block. Until he hit it where he was supposed to, get a good block on the perimeter by JB, and you got most everybody on that play where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to do, and you know, and that's what it should look like when those things happen. Lost Dax Edwards to an injury, and unfortunately, looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So, good play here out of JB. On the interception, gives us another touchdown. You know, when Tucker comes out and is 9 for 9 on his field goal attempts, and Renzo got the last one, ends up making his as well. So a lot of improvement there with our special teams, with our kicking game, and an area that we've gotten a lot better at. You know, as the years gone along, those kids have really worked. They really have. They put in a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and they've got a passion for what they're doing, and they've gotten better at it.
And they got the opportunity to continue to get better because they're both young. They're both youngins.
One's a 9 and one's a 10. So we're excited about having those guys in our program.
Okay. Get the ball back.
Run a little Y cross, and PJ pops over the middle there. You know, and a lot of people would say, why are you throwing it in this situation? Well, it's an opportunity for our kids to get a shot at a 2-minute offense. We needed that going into the playoffs.
You might need that next Friday night.
Our kids have not had an opportunity to execute that. So, you know, our philosophy is you know, we're going to play until the half. And you know, things are going like this, then at the half, we'll start pulling, and you'll see in the second half, not many of our guys starters are still out there.
56-0 at the half. What's going through your mind?
Well, you know, it's I'm thinking that's what I want our kids to expect.
Yes,
know, I really do, and you know, I want us to go out and play with that level of energy and to that level of execution every time we play.
But you mentioned the improvement in special teams. The whole football team's gotten better from day one.
No question. No question. I totally agree with that. And, you know, even, you know, our punt here that comes up in the second half is a 54-yard punt.
And it's his career long.
Right.
So, all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look at second half highlights. A lot of young people getting on the film. And we'll talk about a little road trip tomorrow night, all the way up to Dawsonville. You're watching Inside Hart County Football with Coach Rance Gillespie. We'll be right back.
The Hart County College and Career Academy provides new and improved learning opportunities to students in our community. With new technology and equipment in every classroom, students have the resources to ensure a better education. We guarantee that the Hart County College and Career Academy will further prepare students for their future and their careers. Hart County College and Career Academy, preparing students for their future.
The Hart County High School 5th and Campbell store is selling t-shirts during home football games. Come by and buy a gray shirt for $15 or a black and white shirt for $20. We will be at the front gate. All proceeds go to the store run by Hart County High School students.
Hart County High School is about academics, sports and training, Bulldog Chow, reading, teamwork, brilliant minds, preparing for the future. Hart County High School is the school made for us.
Welcome back. You're watching Inside Hart County Football with Coach Rance Gillespie. Inside Hart County Football brought to you each week by Pierce Built Homes. Coach, went to the break 56-0. Everybody in the stands is going, well, they're not going. They're just sitting there with their mouths open. I mean, just amazed.
Right.
Get a chance to look at a lot of young guys in the second half. How valuable is it to see them on film?
Well, it's real valuable, because one of the things that we changed is that we keep all of our ninth graders.
Mm-hmm.
Even after the JV season, they're important to us. They're really important to us. We want to continue to pour into those guys. We want to continue to invest in those guys. We want them to play as much football as possible for our football program moving forward and our future. And and they're also important to us in that they serve as a scout team. And that's a young kid's role to a certain extent in a football program. And so that was different for several of our young kids this past week. In that that has not been the expectation in the past. So being able to reward those kids with time on the field and not just a play here or there, but a whole half, was really good. Really good. And you always like it when every kid in your program gets an opportunity to be on the field. It just feels really good.
And a lot of those young kids played pretty well in the second half.
We got some good young players. We really do. And we're excited about their potential and their progress that they've made this year. And I'm excited about what some of them are going to look like in a year after a year in the weight room, and continue to eat right and do all the things that they've got to do in order to be a good football player. We're really excited about what the future holds for Hart County football.
Let's look at the second half. Jackson kicks off, and again, it's the little, I call it the wedge kick.
Those are dangerous, those jump kicks, and you got to do a good job. Do a good job protecting yourself against them, and we did. Malachi gets several carries here in the second half, and like I said, we got a lot of nines and a couple of tens, and not many seniors and juniors on the field. Kane goes back and has a great catch there. It's a really good throw out of Luke, and you see some of the pureness in his release, and his release is going to continue to get better. It's going to continue to get quicker, and he's got some things that are certainly going to be fun to work with.
Good job breaking the tackle and getting out the back door there.
Yeah, and Malachi's grown over the course of the year. He's grown in length, and he's probably up to about 145 pounds, and so with another year under him, hopefully we'll get him up to about 160, and get some weight on him. Yeah, Luke is athletic enough to extend some plays and can get loose on you every once in a while. You've seen him do that in a couple of JV games, and will be athletic enough to continue to run the football as a quarterback, and of course brings along a really good throw motion. Doing the same thing defensively. Got a lot of our 9s and 10s on the field, and see some good things out of those guys up front and in the secondary as well. It's fun to see those guys get on the field and get some opportunities.
Get a little quick there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes you see that, and whether it's nerves or what have you, but get that on occasion. But for our young guys to come out, continue to play, and to keep a shutout against a varsity football team is really encouraging, and it gives you a lot of things to be excited about. Headed into next year. Did a good job getting our guys on and off, and that was that's a big thing.
I thought that was a great play there.
It was a smart play out of Ben.
Just to sit down.
It was just to sit down, not take the loss, and call it a day. Kind of know when your day's over and. Do a good job not making a bad thing worse. This is a great punt out of Chase.
It was.
And gets the ball to turn over. And I think what you will see is as he grows and he matures and he gets stronger, he's going to generate more leg speed, and you're going to see some really great things out of him as a punter as he moves forward. So. Good play there out of Skylar. Skylar's got a ton of potential playing that outside linebacker spot. He's a really good athlete for us. Good
pressure on the punt again. Nice catch there, backing up.
Yep, and we wanted to try to get in there and put a little pressure on the punt and do some of those things, but good physical run here, and we fit the assignments right up front, and that's some of the things that you miss when you watch this. Some of the guys up front are doing a really nice job with their blocks and their fits and pad level, creating some movement. Good job out of our fullback. We start in a 21 personnel with our young guys, just to establish a physicality and give them a base to kind of grow from. We do the same thing at our middle school, So and then as they move forward, they will grow into more and more offense. But a good run there out of LJ, and
I thought that was a great hold by Ben. Also. Dropped the snap and got it back.
Yep, and he is growing into that position and doing a good job with it. Another good tackle there out of LJ on the kickoff return, and again, exciting to see young guys playing and getting a lot of bodies to the football.
It's contagious. Coach, tomorrow night. The third season starts.
Right.
We've played the exhibition, we've played region, state playoffs. Dawson County come in at 7-3. They are the number 2 seed from their region. Tell us about it.
They got a big football team, a big physical football team. Offensively, they're going to be in the shotgun, and it's going to be a spread offense. But like I've said before, they are a power run spread. And everybody, what I've said before is everybody kind of puts their own spin on the spread offense. This will certainly be a different spin than we've seen. Morgan is throwing the football a good bit with a little bit of zone reads. Monroe's got their take on it, a little bit more quarterback run. Dawson is more power. They've got a 300-pounder on the line of scrimmage. They've got a couple of 270s, big guys up front, and a back that is a difference maker for them. He's a really good back.
Compare him to somebody that we may have seen in the region.
I don't know that's fair. I hate to do that, especially publicly, but schematically. I would say schematically they're the closest to maybe a Stevens or something like that. But defensively, they're multiple, as most people are. Although throughout the region we've seen mainly odd. This crew will get into some odd fronts, some 3-down stuff, but it's typically when they're playing the spread teams that play without a tight end, your Unions, your White Counties, and those people, against the GACs of the world and more 11 personnel type things. They've been more 4-down, and will be a little bit different picture for us. But 4-down and quarters is kind of where everybody starts on defense now.
Keys to the ball game.
It's cliches, but they always hold true. The keys are going to be make sure that we don't become a part of our problem. And what I mean by that is missed assignments, turnovers, those things that we control. And that's where we got to start, and that's why we practice, is to eliminate those as much as we can each and every week. And secondly, we need to be the most physical team on the field, and it's something that we want to take pride in here. We want to put our stamp on that, and we've talked since the beginning about how when teams walk through that arch at Herndon Field, they know they're going to get hit. And certainly we need to make that statement again on Friday night.
All right, game time tomorrow night at Dawsonville, 7:30, opening round of the state AAA football playoffs. That does it for tonight. Next week we'll be back. We'll be talking about Dawson County and second round opponent to be determined. For Coach Gillespie, this is Doc Ayers saying thank you, good night, and we'll see you next week on Inside Hart County Football, brought to you each week by Pierce Built Homes. Thank you and good night.
Thank you for watching Inside Hart County Football. This has been a production of Hart College and Career Academy video production class.